Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. It was a hot summer and Z City was enveloped by the curtain of night. A low atmospheric pressure filled the air, heralding a rainstorm. Charm of Night was the largest entertainment club in Z City. In a private room on the 7th floor, Swawei was extremely drunk as she stumbled and stood up from the couch. Her stomach felt like waves rolling and roaring and nausea hit her. She covered her mouth and rushed out of the private room. Ding. The lift door opened and Swawei staggered into the lift. While in a daze, she felt the door of the lift opening again and she got out of the lift. Weird. When did her house become this color? Burp. Swawei shook her head and tried to be sober. Yeah, she must have been drunk to see her house in a different color. With her eyes almost closed, she staggered toward the half-closed door and pushed it open. Mom, I'm home, Swawei, who was still filled with drunkenness and unconsciousness, called out. Funny, why was it so dark? I don't care. I'll sleep first. Today's bed felt a lot more comfortable than before. It was so soft and so comfortable. Swawei lay on the bed. She was extremely drunk. After a while, she frowned. She felt her body heating up. Feeling irritated, she tugged at her collar. Her cheeks were flushed red. It's so hot. Just then, the bathroom door in the presidential suite swung open and out came a good-looking and charming man with an air of elegance. He was a man who was a far cry from everyone else. Mn. He cursed in a low voice. His handsome face was covered with a cold hostility. He had taken a 20-minute cold shower and yet the fire of desire within his body couldn't be extinguished. He blew up, just like a knight about to be attacked by the thunderstorm, sending shivers down people's spines. That if he were to find out the person who drugged his drink, he would be sure to have that person disappear from Z City. It's so hot. On the bed, Swawei felt extremely hot and took off her outer garment, exposing her fair and delicate shoulders. At that moment, the man looked toward the comfortable double bed. Under the dim light, he could still make out that a woman was lying on the bed. His brows knitted into a slight frown and the dark void of his eyes were enveloped by danger. Swawei, who was lying on the bed, did not sense danger coming her way. Who are you? The man's cold voice could be heard and he stared coldly at the woman on the bed. Swawei was unconscious and could not hear the man's voice. All she did was to continue tugging at her collar. Mn. Why is it so hot? Looking at the woman ripping off her clothes, Yuding's black eyes narrowed. The next second, he bent over and lifted Swawei from the bed. With a cold look, he asked, were you the one who drugged my drink? Swawei, who had regained a little sense, opened her eyes and saw a blur shadow. She unconsciously raised her hand and tried to push the hand gripping her collar aside. She roared impatiently, who are you? What are you doing in my house? Yuding paused for half a second and his face contorted in anger. This Ned woman had climbed into his bed and was treating this place like her house. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.